Maine has the highest per capita rate of unhoused veterans in the entire United States. This is not a statistic that any of us are proud of. However, without intensive work to address the issue, the problem's never going to get better. Today, I'm thrilled to show you a newly created facility right here in our capital called the Arts House, which is focused on helping unhoused veterans get off the street and address their mental health and addiction issues to help them move on to more permanent housing situations. Come on and take a look. Can you share about the Arts House and its mission?
Arts House stands for Addiction, Recovery, and Trauma, and we're starting with 8 male veterans here to get to the root of their trauma and get into housing and change their lives. And Arts House is one of the programs at Bread of Life. We've been in Augusta for 40 years, helping people with 2 shelters, over 100 housing units, and we started with a soup kitchen in downtown Augusta, and this is just one more piece to help this community. We've been on this project for 3 years now, working diligently to help people, and it really came from in our soup kitchen. You see people having addiction struggles every single day, and also, in our veteran shelter, we have a 14-bed veteran shelter just up the street, and we do have children on site, so if folks come in intoxicated, they can't stay, and that's really hard to do in hot summer days and when they're in the shelter program for a reason. So this kind of started and gathered a lot of momentum and then a lot of red tape and different buildings. It was great working with Pouliot Real Estate to look at all kinds of buildings and see what was gonna work for this program and for Bread of Life.
Everybody focuses on finding housing, but ultimately you could put somebody in an apartment. Doesn't mean they're going to be successful and they could lose that apartment the next month. The key is to identify the barriers and keep them in housing and provide the supportive services to help them become successful.
It's really interesting. I think the veteran population especially have the most difficult time. It's scary to go, you figure you're young when you join the military. You're always with your troop. You're always with a group of people doing the same goal, having the same purpose, and then you don't. And then, coming in here, there'll be eight men in here total working and having a group, but then the goal is to go into housing and you'll be alone. So we're talking about that and addressing that and saying, okay, well, we have some veterans that come out of our shelter and go into housing and, they have a tent in their bedroom because it provides them a little more like security and really thinking about, we talked earlier about when you see folks in the community, have some grace because you don't know the battles that are going on in their head, in their heart. And, sometimes home isn't a safe place. Maybe their homes have never been a safe space. That's an issue too, both in our family and veterans shelters. And in this program, we're gonna face it here to say, you are safe here.
Structure is very important when you're in the military and you have structure your whole life, and then you transition into the community and there's nothing, you really get used to that and you rely on that, and that's often where some people fail because they're trying to adapt and they just can't find the new normal. So our program, it is going to be structured in the fact that we're going to have routines. For example, everybody's going to be responsible for a chore. We're going to have times where chores need to be completed by 10 o'clock in the morning. We have wake up at 6:30 in the morning. We have lunchtime, dinner time. Not that they can't eat outside of those times, but if they want to eat together as a community, that's when everybody will be focused at the same time. And then we'll have case management scheduled, so they'll know, for example, Tuesday at 2 o'clock, I meet with my case manager, and this is what we're going to talk about. I'm supposed to talk about employment or housing, and they'll have identified goals, which are set up so that way they're unique to the person. And then they'll know what every day is going to look like before even coming into that day. So it's not like it's going to be a surprise. They're going to know what's expected to them with the program rules. They're going to know what's expected of them with their scheduling and the outside professionals, and they're going to have their own little calendar saying, this is how this week is going to go. Let's plan for it. What do you need? That way it still helps them adapt to not as much structure as they would see in the military, but at least bringing their life full circle.
Can you tell us about the partnerships that make this program possible and how they contribute to the overall success and impact on the lives of residents?
One of the major partnerships for this program is VA Maine. We work directly with TOGAS, where their professionals will come in and provide programming to each veteran, such as medication-assisted therapy, which can help with addiction, case management. We do have case managers on site, but there's licensed social workers that can assist with their plan of care to ensure if there's any mental health needs or medical needs, as well as any other services that's offered for the veterans who are service-connected and live within our community.
Couldn't have done it without Home Depot. They had a phenomenal grant and they came in and had a work day, their veterans program. A bunch of veterans came in and put this floor down, built things. It was just humbling and phenomenal for sure. And we couldn't do it without, the electrician was a veteran. We've had a lot of veterans work on this project. Chip Eastman did a lot of pro bono work in here because he believes in the program.
How can businesses in the community like ours support the mission of Arts House?
If you want to support this program, which will need continued support, please, donate to Bread of Life, say it's for Arts House. We're just really, really proud of it, but it took a community and it took seeing a need, fulfilling a need, and really making it happen diligently, like hard, jumping over hoops, red tape, all the things for 3 years because the addiction crisis we have is only growing in Augusta and we want to help be part of the solution.